Thank you, Adam. President Barack Obama announced tonight broad executive action to offer temporary relief from deportation to millions of undocumented immigrants, saying that the separation of families or the oppression of low-wage immigrant workers is, quote, not who we are as Americans.
The most controversial aspect of the president's executive order allows as many as 5 million undocumented immigrants to stay in the U.S., including the undocumented parents of children born here.
That's right. Those parents will be able to request deportation relief and work permits for 3 years at a time, provided that they register, pass background checks, pay fees, and prove that their legal resident or citizen child was born before the date of the executive order.
Now, the president also spoke directly to Republicans and the American people about whether he can make such a move.
There are actions I have the legal authority to take as president, the same kinds of actions taken by Democratic and Republican presidents before me, that will help make our immigration system more fair and more just. Tonight, I'm announcing those actions.
That the move would not grant undocumented immigrants citizenship or the right to remain in the country permanently, and he said that he will still push for a legislative solution.
In anticipation of the president's speech today, House Speaker John Boehner released his own statement on the internet. In it, Boehner says the president is acting like a king and that the American people want Congress and the president to work together.
Instead of working together to fix our broken immigration system, the president says he's acting on his own. That's just not how our democracy works. The president had said before that he's not king and he's not an emperor, but he's sure acting like one. And he's doing it at a time when the American people want nothing more than for us to work together.
And despite the political controversy, local immigrants watched President Obama's words closely tonight.
And while they say they're glad the president is taking action, they say much more needs to be done.
NBC5's Kyle Averman spoke with a local immigrant today and joins us live with more. Kyle?
Yeah, that's right, guys. 20-year-old Ricardo Lujan came to the United States with his family from Mexico when he was just 8 years old. He said a lot has changed since he first arrived, but there still is a long way to go.
It is an experience Ricardo Lujan says he will never forget.
It still haunts me to this day. I was separated from my family and I was with strangers.
Like so many others, Lujan's family crossed into the United States illegally from Mexico in 2003. He says his parents didn't want him and his sister to be exposed to the drugs and poverty they experienced in Guanajuato, Mexico.
No one really wishes to go this route, but certain circumstances push individuals to take drastic measures.
Lujan is protected under the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA, which essentially buys time from deportation for young undocumented immigrants, many of whom were brought to the U.S. as children and have essentially grown up in this country. But Lujan says those rights should extend to parents as well.
People, they have kids here, and then all of a sudden those parents get deported and that citizen is a foster child.
Immigration law is highly complex, and frankly, there's a need for it to be revised to reflect today's realities.
Yashar Saparis is an immigration attorney in Medford and says the processes of becoming a legal citizen often contradict each other.
It's not a straightforward system, so it can be overwhelming for the average person, and there's not always a direct path.
As for Lujan, he says he is pleased President Obama is bypassing Congress to help advance immigration reform, even though it may not be permanent.
For myself, I know that I'm an American. This is my home. My American dream is being able to see my parents have a peace of mind as well.
And while Lujan is living in the U.S. legally, his parents are not and currently live under the threat of deportation. Live in the studio, Kyle Averman, NBC5 News.